my god. It's like everything here is like crazy. Hi guys.
Hello.
Katya.
I'm Raquel.
And we wanna tell you a little bit about our story.
We're supposed to be in America, but instead we're in Mexico right now. And we're gonna give you the juicy little details of what happened to Katya when she was trying to travel to America through immigration and all that. So stick around, watch the whole videos to find the insights and her personal experience of the airports and United States Department of Homeland Security.
Feeling like a, how do you say this, criminal.
Criminal. Ooh, yeah. We met last time in November in Mexico City, and we were there for about a week. Then during Christmas we couldn't spend time together because she was in Germany and I was in America. And
yeah, and this was just sad enough, right? Because I want to have people on Christmas that I love, and one of them I love the most is not by my side. Oh my god!
yeah, so it was hard just to be in a relationship so far away. It's already hard. Anyway, pretty much what we're going to talk about today is this entire thing, this whole ordeal of what happened. We didn't get to spend time together in Christmas, so we planned that we will definitely, spend Valentine's Day together.
Yeah.
Right? It's fair enough. I was super excited that I get to see her again. I get to spend a couple months with her, and the main... Why do you have to do this right now?
Right now
So I was super excited to be able to spend a few months with her. I went shopping, I got stuff that would make her comfortable. I got food, I got so much food that she likes specifically in my pantry and my refrigerator.
And he was so excited because he
Yeah.
told me all this, and I was excited too.
I had all the stuff that she likes and all the stuff that would make her comfortable during her stay here. And yeah, it was just unfortunate what happened next.
I was super excited, I was getting ready to stay 2 months. And yeah, I had to quarantine 2 weeks in Mexico, and then the normal process were to fly through Esther to America, because they don't let you in from Germany to America.
For COVID, you
Possible.
have to quarantine for 14 days in
Yeah.
Mexico.
And I was super excited. I thought my days, and I made a lot of videos like, stay tuned, stay tuned, whatever. Yeah. And then at some point they said I have to make a corona test. That's something I don't expect, because before you don't need it. But yeah, sometimes how life is. My flight
To San
was on
Francisco.
the 23rd to San Francisco, and so in my head and his head it was very easy, because I have my Esther, I have my corona test, I have my flight.
So less than 48 hours until Katya gets here. I got a few more things left to do on my checklist, and then I think I'm totally ready.
I have 2 more days, and I'm so excited to see my baby again.
So the time came, her 14 days quarantine came to an end.
And on the day of the flight, it was a whole different ordeal on the day of the flight.
So I went to the airport 2.5 hours before, because they say you have to come a little bit earlier because you fly with Esther, maybe something is not working like it have to, so yeah. And this was the case. My ESTA wasn't approved.
Yeah, it just her ESTA. Normally ESTA is valid for 2 years, and her ESTA got suspended, and she had to reapply for ESTA. But nobody gives a notification when your ESTA gets suspended. You just have to know this before you travel somehow. But yeah.
And they got suspended because of Corona. They said some of the ESTA were suspended.
Yeah, like a lot of the ESTAs were suspended, so you have to reapply before you travel. And
But nobody knows this. So I went to the airport and they was checking my name, and then they were telling me, no, you can't fly because your ESTA is not approved. It's not in our system.
so this was day one. So day one, the ESTA failed, right? So she had to, she had all these bags with her, and she had to get a hotel nearby the airport. And we didn't know what was going to happen. We don't know how long the next ESTA will take and when to change the flight to. But
yeah, because first I was trying to get my ESTA in this 2 hours that I had, but it's not working out.
So on the same day we filed for the ESTA again, and by the time the last flight left to America, the ESTA actually got approved. Like within 2 hours, the ESTA got approved, but there was no flights going to America in the same day. So we applied for another ESTA, and that worked out. And after this, the next day, when she got up in the morning and she got to the airport again, they couldn't find her ESTA again. It's there, it's approved. Like I'm looking at it. This time there's no messing around. Like we're looking at it, it says it's approved. Like why the hell can't you find it? But apparently it takes some time for it to get into the Mexican system or Alaskan Airlines system, and it wasn't there. So we got a new flight, but from San Diego to San Francisco, and she had to miss that flight also by like 20 minutes because it took them like 10 minutes after the flight left to verify that her ESTA is approved.
So I was 3 hours before at the airport, and they were 2 hours on the phone to check what is with my ESTA.
Crazy.
It's crazy. Okay, then I flew from Mexico to
Seattle. So now her transit was from Mexico, or from Cancun to Seattle, and from Seattle to California. During this time, she finally got on the plane. So she's on her way to America. She's on her way to California, and I couldn't be more excited. I asked her what she wants to eat at night because I have to pick her up around like 8 p.m. And she's like,
we could text in the airplane.
yeah, because she had Wi-Fi in the airplane just for messages, just for messaging. And she's like, oh yeah, make me some Thai curry. And so I went to the shop, I made some Thai curry, I made some cauliflower rice, and I was just super excited to come pick her up. And I was fixing the last few things, like, taking the trash out one more time, like wiping things down a little more. And yeah, I was doing my last minute things. I had to get a new haircut the same day, and all these things, and I was doing it. I just can't explain it in this video how excited I was to see her. And then she said she's landing in Seattle, and I know there's only 3 hours away. It's a 3-hour flight, and it's a 1-hour layover. So in 4 hours I'm about to see her. In 4 hours I'm about to go pick her up from San Francisco Airport. And I was super psyched.
We was texting a lot. We was texting a lot of cards, and I'm excited to see you, and what we want to do, and what he asked me what I want to eat, and I was so excited.
And normally all airports have Wi-Fi, so we were able to message each other, right? And as soon as she landed, I don't see her online anymore, and I don't get any messages from her. And her flight leaves in like 1 hour, so which was like 3:30ish, and it's 3 o'clock. I still hear nothing from her. 3:15, 3:20, 3:25. I'm checking her flight number on Google, and her flight left, and I hear nothing from her. And I'm like, what the hell is happening? I'm like, maybe her phone's dead, maybe something happened with the Wi-Fi, her phone didn't receive Wi-Fi, but she's on the plane for sure, and I have to go pick her up at this time. This is what I'm thinking. But on the other hand,
It was not the case because they checked my bag and everything, and they told me, nope, you can't fly because I had my scissors. So in the camp in Mexico, I exchange haircut with everything you can have.
just like a volunteer camp where you
Yeah.
can trade your skills.
Yeah, I change my skills with whatever they.
It's like bartering, you're trading off skills with one another.
I had my scissors, and I don't know that this makes so much stress because I had 8 scissors because this is my working equipment. So they were thinking that I want to work in America. That's not the case. It's crazy. So and they asked me all these questions and treat me more like a criminal. So I never got this feeling before, but yeah, that's crazy. And then I said, I asked them to call my boyfriend because he's waiting for me, and they said, yeah, we will call him. I think they call you after 2 hours.
Yeah, they called me like 2 hours after the flight left, and right when I was at San Francisco airport waiting for her, they said, oh, well, we have her here, we're still evaluating her, and once the interview or the evaluation is over, either she will call you back or you'll get news from us again.
Yeah, but no, I couldn't use my phone. I could do nothing. So I couldn't see which flight I have to pick back, or to say Wakil I can come, or to fix something, nothing. So it was crazy. I had to wait until the next day, and they locked me with another girl in a room, and then they came every 15 minutes and looking, and if you had to go to toilet, you have to knock at the door, and then they open the door and bring you to the toilet, wait and bring you back, and I don't know. So the next morning I had no information, I had nothing. I didn't know if I have to fly to Germany, if I have to fly to Mexico or whatever. Long story short, they didn't let me come in because they were thinking I want to work or I want to stay there or whatever. They don't want to let me in. I have to stay there until the next morning. I didn't have my clothes. I didn't have the only thing I had was my money, and I had to carry it here because I had no pocket, nothing. And yeah, it was very hard also that I can't talk to him.
And it's so messed up because she travels so much. She's been to Peru, to Indonesia, to Switzerland, to Holland, to Spain, to all these countries in Europe, and it's just messed up that she couldn't travel to America. Like, what the hell?
So, on the next day at 10 o'clock, they brought me to Alaska Airlines, and then they told me that I have to fly back to Cancun. And I told them what I have to do in Cancun. So I was thinking maybe I fly back to Germany or something. No, nothing. I have to fly back to Cancun, and I have to pay this flight. So
On my end, I got a call around the time when the flight's supposed to land in San Francisco, and they said, she's not flying there. And then I'm just waiting to get another call from Katya because maybe they're evaluating her, interviewing her, and then she'll fly later, like 2 hours later or 3 hours later, or whatever the case may be, right? And around 7 or 8 o'clock, I get another call from Seattle Homeland Security, and they said that Kaya will not be traveling into America this time. because they found her inadmissible. She wouldn't be traveling into America this time, and she would have more information, and she would be able to tell me the next day when she's in the plane. And I asked them, where are they flying her to? And they wouldn't give me any information. Like, oh well, she'll be able to call you and tell you where it is. And I'm like, okay, well, at this point, I have the food ready, I have all these things ready, I'm just waiting for my girlfriend, you know? And she's not here. And I don't even know what's going on with her. I don't even know if they're sending her back to Germany or if what they're doing. So the next morning when I woke up, I called the Seattle airport immigration department again. And this time it was a different guy, and it was a guy who was much nicer. And I asked him, I gave him all the information about her, and I told him, so where is she flying back? It says the country of origin. What is the country of origin? And they were like, oh, the country of origin is where she came from, where the flight came from, not where she initially came from, which is Germany, but where the flight came from, which is Cancun. I'm like, bam, okay. So I booked a flight to Cancun. I saw the next flight that was going out from Seattle, which was around 11, and it lands in Cancun around 6 p.m. So I booked a flight from San Francisco that also lands in Cancun at 6 p.m. I tried calling her, and her phone was still turned off. But when I landed in San Diego, I'm in the airport, and I'm looking through my phone, and I'm on our chat log on WhatsApp, and I see her online. I'm like, no way, she got her phone back. And then I called her immediately, and she picked up the phone, and she's like, oh babe, I can't talk right now, I have to be in the plane before I can answer your call. Just bullshit, like what the hell, like what did she do?
Sorry, the cabin in which you are seated. We greatly appreciate your assistance.
I have to fly back to Cancun now,
Tables are up and devices are important in
and
this
what
travel.
will be there.
All bags and larger items, including laptops, are completely unable to be transit.
And then when she got on the plane, she called me back, and we had the whole spiel, and then we got to talk a little bit, and I told her, babe, I'm coming to Cancun, fuck it, you know, if we can spend time in America, we'll spend time together in Cancun.
And I was so surprised to say, oh yeah, I'm on my way. You were just on a plane, right?
Yeah, I just landed in San Diego.
And I was, what? Really? Okay, and I got excited again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it was really about the ease of travel, you know, so we won't have to spend so much money for hotels, and we can spend this money on each other, or, you know, just doing things that we like doing. Also, we could be a little more safer, but given COVID and all these things, being in another country, in Mexico, with all this tourism going on and all these people, it's not really that safe. If we were home, we'd be in our shelter, we would have our things, it would just make more sense to be together in America right now. But
I don't really care about Corona. I just want to spend time with him. And yeah, it will be better in America, of course, because it's this city, and now it's everything open. And okay, here's also everything open, but you can save money. And it's different, right? It's different. It's your home. But now we are here,
so it's fine. It doesn't matter. No matter where we are, we get to spend Valentine's Day together. We get to spend the 14th, and we'll keep you posted with what's going on.
And
Ciao.